Hi guys and welcome to Tasha Tuesday. So I don't know if you know this about me, but I love board games. My friends and I do weekly board game nights where we all just bring a bunch and play them till the early hours of the morning. So today I thought I would go through some of the ones that I have bought recently. So we're gonna do a board game haul. Let's get started. I would also like to mention I will put all of the games in the description below, hopefully with a link to each of them so that you guys can order them as well if you find any of them interesting. And if you would like me to go through the games in more details, just let me know. Otherwise, go check out Tabletop because I'm sure they have at least some of the games that I have mentioned here getting played. And if they don't, let me know and I might be able to play them and go through them. So we're going to start off with a simple card game. The first one is Guillotine. This is a card game set in the French Revolution and you have an executioner and you have a lineup of nobles and you have to get the noble with the most points to the front of the line on your turn. So at the end of your turn you take that noble and the first it does 3 rounds. So when all of the nobles in the middle are gone, you do that 3 times. At the end of that you count up and the person with the most points wins. You're trying to execute the highest standing noble. For example, like there's Palace Guards, which are worth 1 point, or there's Marie Antoinette, which is worth 5 points. So you want to try and execute Marie Antoinette. This game's really fun. It's really simple. It's really quick. I would highly recommend it. It says ages 12 and plus. It's a little bit interesting to me just because the whole premises of it is that you are executing people, and I just find that whole notion interesting and ridiculous. Next up is Backpackers. This game looks really complicated when you open it because of the instruction book, but it's very, very simple. You have your deck of cards in the middle and it either has a place or an action and you do what's on the card. You place your places, so on the back of the cards here, you can place, you know, Thailand, which is worth 40 points in front of you, and then the next person goes and continues round. If you have a grey card, you're sick, you can't go home. The game continues for as many years as you like, and the years are determined by the pile in the middle. So when all of the pile is gone, that's 1 year up, and you determine before if you want to do multiple years. I've never had to play a game where you need more than 1 year, and I've played with 6 people, just because the game does take a little bit like to play, but I highly recommend it. It's really fun. It probably takes like 20 minutes to learn just because you have to go through all the instructions, and the instructions make the game sound more complicated than it is. But once you get it, you get it. It's pretty simple. Next up is Ecosystem. First of all, look at how absolutely gorgeous this cover art is. Please focus. Yeah, there you go. Look at how gorgeous it is. It's just really pretty art to me. I love games that have really pretty like art and everything in the covers and on the cards. So Ecosystems is a game where you have to build your ecosystem of plants and animals and like grass and rivers and have lots of diversity. So this is the scoring card. It's a little bit confusing, but a bear is worth 2 points if it's next to a bee or a trout, and a trout is worth 2 points if it's next to a dragonfly or a stream. And they do this so that you have a diverse ecosystem, hence the name of the game, because they want to be able to have multiple things. And you also get penalties if you have too many of one type of animal. So if you constantly go, oh great, I'll just have a whole bunch of bees, then you get negative points because you don't have very much diversity in your area, you only have bees. So it's a really fun game, and the way you play it is everybody gets 10 cards, you grab one, pass to the left, and you keep going until all those 10 cards are gone. Then you repeat the same thing going the other direction until everybody has 20 cards in front of them, and then you count the score. Next up is my favorite quick game, and that is Exploding Kittens. This game is so fun, and you can kind of just keep adding people to the game as long as you have enough Exploding Kittens. So this is the one that Andrew and I have. We have the regular Exploding Kittens version, we have the not safe for work version, and we have the expansion Imploding Kittens. And that one was really funny because it came with the Cone of Shame. So the Cone of Shame works by if you say whose turn it is, you get the Cone of Shame, and inside it has the arrow pointing which way you're meant to go, as well as the outside so everybody else knows which way the card goes. You have to wear it until somebody else asks whose turn it is. The point of Exploding Kittens is not to get an exploding kitten. This is what it looks like here. There's different artwork for it, but that's an exploding kitten. It's black. you're trying not to get one of those. The only way you can defeat an exploding kitten is if you have a defuse card, and that diffuses the bomb. You put the diffuse in the discard pile, you get the whole pile, you get the whole deck of playable cards, and you put the exploding kitten back in. You can either put it strategically or you can just shuffle that bad boy back in wherever. And the fun part is there's a whole bunch of other cards that let you skip turns, make people redo turns, shuffle decks and everything, and it's a lot of fun. It's a quicker game just because it tells you exactly what you need to do, and there's not really much strategy behind it. You pick up a card, hope and God it's not an exploding kitten, and if it is, you're out unless you can defuse it, and you keep going and you pray it's not an exploding kitten the next time it gets to you as well. Next up is Never Bring a Knife. So this game is very simple to play. Essentially there are half criminals, half cops, and you have to resolve playouts. You place cards on other people's decks, and then you also have to hope that you haven't been given a bad hand to resolve. For example, I'm player A, I'm a cop, you're player B, you're a criminal, but we don't know that. So I place a card on your pile and I might put a gun down, you don't know that. On your turn, you can put on mine also a gun, I don't know that. I don't trust you, so in my next play, I put down armor just to cover me, just in case you've given me a gun. And then the resolve round is you resolve it. A gun can only be overcome by an armor, but I placed an armor so I don't get a gun wound. If I have enough money, I can go to the hospital and pay for my wounds to be cleaned up and fixed. Stuff like that. So the game is really fun. It's very simple because there's not really any arguing or talking or accusations. It's just playing cards and hoping that you have the right person. The games that I've played so far, inevitably it's towards the end of the second round, you kind of know who's who, and from there you can do team ups and alliances to try and get the opposite team out. Next up is Codenames. I feel like this is a very popular game. I feel like a lot of people know what this game is. For those of you who don't, you have two teams of 3. One person is the pointer and the clue guess, and the person who gives the clues, and the other people have to guess. You have a grid like that on the back, you see the grid, and you have to tell clues based on this. So if I'm the blue team, you see where the blue is here, so that would be Belle. So then I have to give a clue that says Belle. So I might say Beast as the clue, and then somebody goes, oh, look at the rest of the cards, Belle. But somebody else might go, oh, hang on, Pumbaa over here, he's an animal, he could be considered a beast. So you have to base your clues off of what your colors you are and give clues just for yours and not help the other team. And the first person to get all of their clues guessed wins. It's a fun game. I really like it a lot. I feel like it's a popular game, but I don't know if that's just because I'm into board games. Next up is a game Angel and I saw, and it just seemed like a lot of fun and something I'm very into, which is Stupid Death. If anybody remembers Horrible History, they always had a segment which was Stupid Death. It was like, Stupid Death, Stupid Death. Something, hope next time it's not you. Like, that was it. I remember it in my head very clearly. But Stupid Death, as the title says, you're just guessing if the stupid death was true or not. So the gameplay itself is a little bit meh, but the actual questions are really funny and interesting. So I'm gonna read one out to you, and you're gonna have to guess if it's true or false, and at the end of the video I'll put what it was. So I'll read it and then you take a guess. So, Nyataro Ito, birth date unknown, died 1979. Ito was vying for a seat in the Japanese House of Representatives and was losing. Looking for sympathy votes, he staged a knife attack against himself. Not trusting anyone with the knife, he decided to stab himself, accidentally cutting an artery and bleeding to death. Is this true or false? Next up is Fog of Love. This is a very big, very heavy board game. Oh, and it's got lots of pieces in that I'm ruining. Can you hear that? So Fog of Love, despite how big the box is, it's only a 2-player game. And the premise of this game is that you are 2 people falling in love and in a relationship, and you have goals and you have things that you want to like enhance about yourself and things that you have to get through. and then you have scenarios. In each scenario, each person votes, and which way the voting goes depends on what you get. So for example, I'm person A and you're person B, and person A's objective or goal in life is to be rich, and person B's goal in life is to just fall in love. So their objectives are opposite. So my objectives, their goals are opposite. So my objectives when it has a question is, would you like to spend money and buy the extra bottle of wine or splurge on some flowers for your loved one? I vote no, and you vote yes, because your whole point is you want to be romantic and I want to save money. So then we have opposite views, so we get negative love points. And then at the end of that, you'd see if you end up together or you don't. I think it's kind of like a modern version of like the dating game. Yeah, so Angie and I played it twice. It's interesting. It's a lot of setup, and learning how to play was very complicated. It literally had to go through like a whole scenario in order to learn how to play, and the tutorial cards are scattered through exactly where you need them to be. So like it'll be like, all right, set this up, read tutorial card 4, all right, do the next 3 cards and read tutorial card 5, and you go through a whole gameplay, which is fine, but you can also just read the cards and it'll tell you what to do. But if you're someone who is new to games and this interests you, I would definitely recommend going through the tutorial. Just be prepared to sit for the tutorial is an hour long, because you're essentially going through one whole love scenario. And this also comes with 3 scenarios, but you can buy expansion packs as well. Do I think this was worth the $80 odd that we paid for it? No, I don't think it's very replayable. Is it fun though? Kind of, yeah. So as you know, I love Disney. I worked there, I lived there, I breathe Disney all the time, right? Well, Disney brought out a board game called Villainous, and it's amazing. So this is the original game, and it comes with 6 villains. Comes with Ursula, Prince John, Queen of Hearts, Captain Hook, Maleficent, and Jafar. And so this can be up to 6 players. Each person has their own objectives and their own way to win, but you also have to sabotage other people to stop them from winning. Out of the original people here, my favorite to play as is probably the Queen of Hearts or Captain Hook. Those are my 2 favorites that I like to play in the original deck. But did you think that if I loved a game so much that I wouldn't get every expansion there ever was? You'd be incorrect, because that's exactly what I did. So there are 3 expansion packs for the Villainous game. This first one here is Evil Comes Prepared, and it comes with 3 extra villains, which are Ratigan from Basil the Great Mouse Detective, Scar, and Yzma. I really like this. I love playing as Ratigan. He is probably one of my favorite characters to play out of the whole game. He's really, really interesting to play as. Next up is Wicked to the Core, and this one has Hades, Dr. Facilier, and Evil Queen. I have not yet played as any of them, but Hades is like, I'm pretty excited to play as Hades. And then the last one and the latest is Perfectly Wretched, and this comes with Pete from Steamboat Willie, Cruella de Vil, and Mother Gothel. So I'm gonna open one of these and I'm gonna show you the figurines that come with them, because they are just like so fun. So this is what the pieces look like. This is the Evil Queen, this is Dr. Facilier, and then this is Hades, and each of them have like something that represents them. So Hades, obviously he's blue because that's what his flame is, and he's wearing his like, I want to say tunic cloak thingy. Dr. Facilier is purple with, and this is his hat. And then the Evil Queen is kind of more like a indigo purple with a cloak and crown. So that's really cool. Each of them have like their own color and their own like item to it. This game can go anywhere from 30 minutes all the way to like an hour and a half, depending on how many people you have. Usually I like playing with 3 or 4 people. It goes for about an hour. So that is my board game haul / collection that I've obtained in the last 3 to 4 months. Ish. If there's a game that you think I would really love, or that you love that I haven't mentioned, let me know in the comments, because I love collecting board games and I would love to collect more. This is the answer to the stupid Jess question. Let me know if you got it right or wrong. I'd love to know. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. If you're new here, click the red subscribe button and bell button to get notified when I post a video. I hope you all have a great day and I will see you all next week. Bye!